right away.
Thank you. I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Ranking Member Dingell for holding this important hearing today to examine the consequences of inserting political views into the science that formulates policy. Thanks also to the witnesses for being here. As legislators, it's our job to write laws and implement policy. It's that simple. When outside influences, whether they be political action groups from the right or left, or even foreign nations, insert themselves into one process, it often becomes detrimental. And when these outside influences start to have sway in the science that drives our decisions, the impact can be far-reaching, often beyond the issue of the moment. My home district of American Samoa, we rely heavily upon fishing for our economic well-being and the continued livelihood of the people. Later this afternoon, the full committee will be conducting opening statements for a markup on several bills that will address our nation's fishing policies, including Chairman Young's Magnuson-Stevens reauthorization bill. I mention this because in that bill, of which I'm an original co-sponsor, we aim to address this exact issue. As we all know, NOAA is the agency that provides oversight for our nation's fisheries. We also know that it is no secret that NOAA is often influenced by the large environmental lobbies that have no personal stake in the region when formulating the quote-unquote science that will be used to set policy for the nation's fisheries. This often leads to questionable findings which are then used to smother industry. It is common knowledge that the best stewards of the environment are most often those who utilize it for their livelihood. After all, would any fisherman who counts on a steady and reliable catch want to deplete the resource that their family relies upon? Would a farmer continuously plant crops in the same field year after year, thereby depleting the soil simply for a larger profit for just 1 year? While I'm sure that these things do happen, it certainly is not the norm. No, these people care for their land and the waters that provide their income, certainly much more so than a lobbyist in Washington. So why is it that they have no say in how these resources are regulated? This is just one reason that I'm an original co-sponsor of the chairman's bill. It'll provide greater input from the local people who use these resources when formulating the data that sets policy, not an environmental lobby with an agenda that has no concern for those people or their continued economic well-being. Mr. Chairman, as the only member of this subcommittee from the islands, I'd be happy to take special responsibility for watching over the DOI Office of Insular Affairs and the island governments for which this committee has jurisdiction. I want to thank Chairman Gohmert and Ranking Member Dingell once again for holding this hearing on a subject that impacts policy making across nearly every agency, and I look forward to hearing from the panel on how we've just heard that they've been affected by this dangerous and misleading practice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you. And since you are the one representative on the committee from the islands, should you see a need for a hearing on oversight on any aspect of that, we certainly want to cooperate in any way because of your special position. Well, thank you.